The most heartbreaking thing you'll see this week is that Papoose and Claressa have officially announced their relationship. Remy Ma isn't yelling or slandering anyone this time. Instead, she's crying live in front of tens of thousands of fans. This isn't a rumor or a gossip, it's the real deal. Claressa went live and said, "I never wanted to hurt her, but I'm not hiding what's real anymore." The following slide showed a picture of her and Papoose together, grinning and at ease, as if they hadn't just completely shaken Reese's world. So whatever occurred. Was Papoose ever truly dedicated, or did he change? Is Claressa truly in love, or is there another factor at play here? How did we go from black love goals to public heartbreak and a woman witnessing her relationship end in front of the world? There's no denying that this is a complete breakdown, unfolding minute by minute, and not just a scandal. Prepare yourselves, as what we're about to reveal will make you reevaluate all you believe to be true about love, loyalty, and legacy. Remind yourself that an era is coming to an end. Pretended to be unbreakable, we're talking about holding it down through thick and thin, matching fits interviews that were featured in Black Love magazine, where they completed each other's sentences. However, that blueprint is now in flames because, despite the public acclaim and the anniversary post, a completely different story was unfolding, and let's be honest, her name is Claressa Shields. Claressa has been involved in this scenario since last year's birthday event, so it's not like she sprang out of nowhere. Rewinding to late last year, sources claim that Papoose started spending more time away from home, claiming he was working on a business project in Detroit, which just so happens to be Claressa's home city. At first, Remy remained composed and even defended Papoose on Instagram Live, saying, "You all are constantly trying to break up black love in my relationship." Claressa posted that thank you patcake photo, and Remy skipped the party. He's not going anywhere. However, behind the scenes, everything was falling apart. The distance increased, the calls became shorter, and then the DNS arrived. As you are already aware, the internet detectives went to work, and what they discovered was that Claressa was wearing Papoose's merchandise, and that Papoose was subtly liking and unliking Claressa's gym selfies. They even posted nearly identical photos at the same steakhouse just minutes apart. But Remy remained silent, that is, until that video leaked. The hotel hallway video, which was fuzzy but showed Papoose and Claressa entering a private suite at the Whitney in downtown Detroit at 2:36 a.m., without exactly the appropriate attire for a press conference, went viral right away. Blogs republished it, and Twitter took off in a matter of seconds. As if it were a Netflix series, tokers began acting it out. Everyone wanted to know whether it was actually them, and if so, why hadn't Papoose denied it? He didn't make any kind of statement, offer an explanation, or even offer an apology. This message isn't what it appears to be. Instead, he uploaded a mysterious Instagram story, saying that sometimes the truth arrives before the bombshell. "I'm not going to apologize for who I care about, me and Pap. It's no longer a secret. We're grown and moving forward." Boom, the internet exploded. Over 70,000 people watched that live, and the comments were flying so fast that Instagram could hardly keep up. Remy remained silent for a brief moment until 2 hours later. Claressa went live with a glam wine glass in hand. Her voice was shaking, her eyes were swollen, and she was wearing a sweatshirt. She went live from her bed and peered into the camera for 15 seconds before declaring, "I gave that man 15 years of family loyalty. You all made memes and jokes, but I'm watching someone I trusted begin a new chapter with someone who sat at my side," she continued, breaking down in tears and struggling to breathe while covering her face. "This is how it ends," she said. "Table that's disrespectful, not loving, and suddenly #ProtectFromMe became popular." Celebrities started to join in, with Taraji P. Henson saying, "You deserve better, sis." While Papoose remained silent, the internet flooded Remy with support. Claressa, on the other hand, shared a new selfie of himself wearing his hoodie with the caption, "Sometimes the heart knows what the timeline can't handle." The internet split into Remy, Claressa, and the team asking where Papoose was and why he wasn't speaking. Since Papoose hasn't spoken, he must be concealing something, but what did people fail to notice? Knowing what was going to happen next would make that hotel footage appear like a warm-up, because Rhee's team had actual receipts. Once they released the entire timeline, let's examine the voicemails from the leaves, the dubious business transfers, and how one old phone might have revealed everything. Because just when you thought the hotel scandal and Rhee's emotional breakdown were enough to blow the internet up, they released what they called the truth files the very next morning. This folder of evidence was so dramatic and detailed that it made other celebrities lose their minds. First, it appears that Remy still had access to one of Papoose's old voice accounts, which he used for artist bookings. Scandals seem like playground drama. It turns out that something far more intimate was also being spoken with that line. Papoose's voice could be heard in a message from a few weeks prior to the hotel leak, which said, "You're the only peace I got, Ressa. I need you. I'm tired of pretending at home." Another, "Don't worry, I'll deal with it. She just needs time to get used to it. I won't be here forever," but it wasn't simply emotional. Treachery. Additionally, the folder contained financial accounts that demonstrated numerous transfers from the Black Love Legacy Fund, the same fund Papoose established with Remy, to an LLC named Rest of It, whose owner you are already familiar with, Claressa Shields. Social media went crazy after one user tweeted, "Papoose used a loyalty fund to fund his side hustle in his side situation." The other transaction was titled, "Upgrading Training Support Equipment," and the one that had everyone's jaws on the floor was the care package, which was paid for by Remy and Papoose's joint venture to someone Remy now sees as the other woman. Math is confusing. A different individual stated, "He really went from Black Love King to suspicious account activity in under 48 hours. And guess who went live again when Papoose was dragged into obscurity by the internet? I'm not here to bash anyone, but I'm also not apologizing for loving someone who made me feel seen if you've ever felt like the second choice," Claressa said, sitting alone in what appeared to be the same hotel suite and drinking a protein shake from a wine glass as if it were a casual Tuesday. You would realize that the conversation was heated. Some people commended her self-assurance, while others were less understanding. You weren't just asserting peace, though. You were asserting someone else's partner. Papoose remains mute throughout it all, not a single comment, post, or like. But hold on, things get much more dramatic. Evidently fed up with being silent, Rhee's cousin came forward with images from a secret group chat called Pap and Ressa's Vegas Escape. The screenshots included travel and hotel reservations as well as saved memes of Remy sobbing live with captions like, "We dodged a bullet." At that point, even longtime friend Fat Joe unfollowed Papoose on Instagram, and when your day one people back away, that says everything. Meanwhile, reports started circulating that Remy had entered emergency therapy, not just for the emotional toll, but also because insiders claimed she suffered a severe panic episode after seeing a now viral TikTok remix of her crying live. Yes, people were turning her raw emotional footage into loafing music edits and meme content. One clip even turned her saying, "I gave that man 15 years," into a danceable audio. It was actually said on the internet that no shame, no grace. The collapse of everything Remy built, her marriage, her brand, and her ride or die image, are all falling apart in front of the public, not in private. The backlash was not only emotional but also professional. A streetwear collaboration she had in the works was quietly dropped, and her podcast network announced a temporary pause and an upcoming bit special featuring her story, removed from the press announcement that provides no context. In the meantime, Claressa's reputation was booming. Her fan base doubled in a week, and she shared a teaser for a YouTube documentary called Unapologetic. According to the other side of the story, Sis is actually going to benefit from this whole situation. But things take a drastic turn when Papoose finally breaks his silence late last night. He posted a moody video called "Letter to Myself" and a black and white selfie without a caption. But here's the thing, he never once mentioned Rhee's name or Claressa's. Metaphors such as love is hard when you outgrow each other's silence. Sometimes the realest thing to do is walk away even if your feet still bleed. Excuse me, what? When he was trying out for a poetry slam, the top remark said it all. This man built his entire brand on loyalty and then left like it was a press tour. Fans were not amused. The real shocker, though, was 10 minutes after unfollowing him. Rooney shared this on her Instagram story. Don't mistake my quiet for acceptance. The internet went crazy, the lines were drawn, the drama was genuine, and now legal professionals are intervening.